So guys, we're out of quarantine. That means we have events now. And we're here at Setia City Convention Center, venue for Carlist Drive 2021. Feels good to be out and about again. And this is a star. No, wait, no. That's the star of this video, the Golf GTI Mark 8. But we're going to focus on this car first because it's the baseline model. And now, this could be Volkswagen's most, not cheapest, but most affordable car when it launches, because the big story here is CKD. For the first time, the Golf is going to be locally assembled in Pekan, Pahang. So with the R-Line package, you have LED plus headlights. In fact, if you get it in red, you could mistake this for a GTI. You're missing the red striping on the front, obviously the GTI badge over here, and the honeycomb grille. But the real story, not the real story, but one of the big stories is actually the interior. Check it out. Alright, so we're inside the Golf R-Line, the new Golf R-Line Mark 8. Putting the mask for this. Okay, so it's a big departure from the old 7.5 Golf because they've entirely redesigned the dashboard and the whole sitting experience. So it feels very premium inside here. Like literally, things just feel very Volkswagen, very German. Plastics feel good. In fact, over here you get 2 screens, a big infotainment system over here, and of course the I don't know, the instrument cluster. I'm not even sure what they call it, but they call this MIB, like Men in Black. I have no idea what it actually means, MIB, multimedia infotainment, big shot, I don't know. Anyway, so with the R-Line, you do get these really nice seats. It's like a combination of like sort of a suede and fabric. It's fabric, but it's the nice kind of fabric, okay? And the funniest thing though about the interior is this tiny little, you see this thing over here? This is the gear shifter. Isn't that such a nipple? I mean, okay, besides that, everything looks really premium over here. So the old Golf R-Line 7.5 used to cost around 166,000, 164 I think. And so this, being CKD, could be in the range of 140K. 135K even, maybe. And that opens the door to so many more Volkswagens being sold, more Golfs being sold. But the thing is, they have compromised here, okay? So with all the premium appointments you can see, you don't get electric seats. So you gotta go like this. Okay? But once you're situated and when you're set up in the car, it's all premium, okay? It's great. So one more thing about the Golf R-Line, or in fact the Golf GTI and the R-Line Mark 8, is that these cars are being previewed here, not launched, and so you don't have any specs. But what I can tell you from looking at this engine and probably knowing a few things about what they might be launching, I'm pretty sure, not telling you, but pretty sure that this is a carryover 1.4 liter TSI engines that should produce 150 PS and 250 Newton meters of torque. So the big difference there is that it's not joined to the front wheels via a DSG or double clutch gearbox from Volkswagen. Actually, it's paired to an 8-speed normal torque converter automatic, and it's made by Aisin, which is Toyota. So you can consider that like a selling point of this R-Line over the GTI, in that it has a normal automatic, so no DSG troubles. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing that you would have a DSG, but I would bet that the normal torque converter by Aisin would be more reliable. So this is the star of the show. Well, not this show, but this little show that we're having right now. This is the star, the Golf GTI. And it's gorgeous, isn't it? Like the Golf Mark 8, no, sorry, this is the Golf Mark 8. The Mark 7, 7.5 Golf GTI looked a little bit too tame. But this, like the Golf R-Line, has a sort of like raked profile. It's much nicer. So with the GTI, you do get a bit more aggressiveness at the front. You've got honeycomb grille over here, but you do miss out on that like 5-point, like sort of like checkered flag style fog lamps that you would get in other markets. You don't get that here. This is CKD, by the way, so it would cost a lot less. So the old Golf GTI Mark 7.5 costs like 240K CBU. CKD, that's your guess. I think it could cost under 200K for a GTI, which is a great thing in Malaysia. You do get bi-LED headlights, you get LED plus headlights from Volkswagen. The nice the nice unibrow over there where you have this red strip, very GTI. And 18-inch wheels, which have the most unsexy name, which are called Richmond 18-inch wheels. That's not sexy. So actually along the side, you get more GTI in this. This red is just gorgeous, by the way. GTI badge, again, the Richmond wheels, Potenza S005 tires. It's quite rare in Malaysia. The rear end as well, you get twin exhausts, which are actually real in the GTI. The R-Line gets twin exhausts, but only one of them is real. Still though, you see what I mean about the raked profile? It looks more imposing, it looks more German, serious. Okay guys, before I start the car up, you know how sometimes you buy a premium car and you're kind of like let down by the flimsy feeling plastic key? Not so Volkswagen. This, for the GTI, looks really good. And the same thing with the R-Line. This key is really substantial and weighty and just feels good. Let's start her up. All right, so like the R-Line, you get a big helping of screens, okay? Infotainment over here, MIB, multimedia, infotainment, big shot, whatever. And then the digital cluster ahead of you. You get accents of red, but it's not overwhelming. You get ambient lighting as well. I'm listing that right away. The seats themselves are comfortable, supportive. They're the same shape as the R-Line, but you get different materials. This is actually perforated leather in a sort of like light gray, dark gray mix, and some red accents as well to match the exterior. It's a nice place to be, man. The entire deal with the M7.5 Golf was that it didn't really impress me with the interior. This is still very Germanic and very precise, but it's more high tech. There's more to look at, more to appreciate. And still, you do get this very, very, very small gear selector. I just can't make heads or tails if I like it or not. In a way, you kind of like have to do this all the time. You kind of want to do this in the GTI. You can't anymore. So guys, with the GTI, everyone knows what it's going to be packing under the hood, under the bonnet. It's the EA888 2-liter engine, petrol, 245 PS, 370 Newton meters of torque. That'll be 0 to 100 in 6.4 seconds. Top speed of 250 kph. Yeah. But the thing is, none of that is official. VCPM aren't launching the car here, like I said. They're actually just previewing it. So there's no spec sheet, there's no prices. So if you want the full confirmed details, that'll be coming next year. Q1 next year probably. But it's a GTI, it's quite fast, and it's ours for locally assembled prices. That's great.